Yeah. So I've always been taught that you're a lot of people get stuck on either the perfect time or thinking they need to know everything about something before they go and do it. And then that will paralyze you, or that perfect time will never come, right? Or you're just going to feel like, oh, I don't know everything yet. You're much better off taking imperfect action than trying to wait for the perfect time. And learn as you
Right.
go. I'm not saying to make dumb decisions or just jump into anything. You have to have some sort of base.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Michael Fernandes, who is a real estate entrepreneur. He's in investing, construction, scaffolding, cannabis. There's a lot going on. And recently, he just launched a fund called the Investor School. So I'm excited to get into all of that. Thanks for being here, Michael.
Thank you, Kristen, for having me.
So you have a very interesting background. Let's get into that and kind of what brought you to real estate.
Yeah, I guess that was all kind of by accident, like most things in our lives, right? I started out, my journey started out in the military. I left home when I was young. My father actually had to sign for me. I had a child when I was very, very young, not knowing how to really provide yet. The only thing I could think of was the military. So I did 4 years, kind of learned some discipline and got a base, and um, learned about a lot of things I didn't know about teamwork and hard work from the military. Um, when I came home, I didn't have too many transferable skills. And I had been doing martial arts pretty much my whole life by that point, since I was about 5 or 6 when my father put me in. Um, and I had an opportunity to get on a MMA fight circuit in Florida. I had moved to Florida after I came out of the military, and had an opportunity to get on an MMA circuit. Obviously, amateur first, worked my way up. Um, Ended up getting injured, so my career ended after about, I don't know, 5 years. Yeah, it was 5 years. Um, and while I was sitting on my couch, not knowing what to do, I had a friend of mine who he had a he had a mortgage company, really, and he's the one that introduced me to real estate. We do absolutely nothing. The only thing I knew in life was the military or MMA. That was really it. So it was difficult to transition over. I mean, I was like a fish out of water. He was patient, and I ended up becoming top producer at that company after about 6 months. Uh, Stayed with him for a number of years, until the market tanked, and then I worked for a few other companies in between, after him, but I stayed with it for working for other people for for a number of years. And I was obviously doing a little investing on my own, spec homes and things like that, but nothing major. Then the market tanked. I had lost practically everything that I had built at that point, and had to restart.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And then that's when I got into real estate investing. At that point, it was kind of out of necessity because I had to take the knowledge that I had and expand on it, and then kind of do a lot of trial and error. Back then, there wasn't that many people out there that were teaching or coaching or anything like that. So I had to do a lot by trial and error. I had a couple decent people locally that showed me some things that had been in the space for a while. Ultimately, it was really subject to and seller financed real estate that got me out of the hole that I was in. I was able to close my first 14 properties in 90 days by doing that, and that's really what saved me. Um, and then one thing led to another. Learning from different people, taking different courses. And expanded my knowledge. I did have a little time, a couple years where I worked for Sequoia Capital, which was a fund. So that's what introduced me to the fund uh, um, space. And that was just before the market tanked. That was about 2 years before the market tanked that I had started with them. And then ever since I worked for them, I've always wanted to do my own fund. Just never had the ability or
Mhm.
the time to do it. Um, and then once the market tanked and I went on my own, I was, kind of forced to do that imperfect action that we were talking about before. And led me to try different things. Trust me, a lot of different failures that I had. It wasn't all roses, that's for sure. And then that brought me to where I'm at today. We've been able to build some pretty good businesses and now start this fund.
That's amazing. I mean, it's a really impressive trajectory and you've built something really impressive, hundreds of doors across the country and vertically integrated, which I feel like is a very challenging part to do. I mean, vertically integrating is very hard. I'm sure it was kind of ingrained in you from, your background that building a team around you is probably a really important part of this. How do you go about building that team to help you scale?
Yeah, that was that was probably one of the more challenging pieces of it. The amount of people that you go through. I hadn't obviously no clue. I didn't all these companies that I had worked for before. Um, I never really saw the hiring side or anything like that, right? So I didn't know what I was in for. I actually had one of the guys that owned WeWork. He was one of the founding members of WeWork, alongside of Adam Neumann, and he told me, he said, "You're going to spend about 70% of your time hiring people because it's just the nature of the beast, right? You go through so many people. You get good people, you get bad people." Um, and again, it's like anything. In the beginning was a lot of trial and error before, I was really able to build a system around it. A lot of the things that I had successes with all had to do with the systems that were built around those different things, right? So hiring was just another one. And I was lucky pretty early on to find some people that have stuck with me through the years. A lot of the people that have been with me since 2010, 2011, and stuck with me through all the ups and downs. And there were ups and downs, that's for sure. But
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
treating people right is probably one of the most important things. Being fair, and allowing people to make decisions, right? I've never been one to micromanage. That's not me. I'm not gonna. Everybody's an adult, so if you can't do your job, um, I'm not gonna sit behind you and hold your hand through it, right? Um, Everybody supports each other, and we're all here to help each other, but nobody's gonna do your job for you. So most of the time, people end up weeding themselves out. But the core team that we built have been here for a number of years. So yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. No, I think those are really good pieces of advice there. And something that I've heard you say a couple times is kind of, you learn through making mistakes. And I think a lot of people are
Yeah.
afraid of making mistakes. So I'd love for you to talk a little bit more about that and, taking
Yeah.
action.
Yeah. So I've always been taught that you're a lot of people get stuck on either the perfect time or thinking they need to know everything about something before they go and do it. And
Hmm.
then that will paralyze you, or that perfect time will never come, right? Or you're just going to feel like, oh, I don't know everything yet. You're much better off taking imperfect action than trying to wait for the perfect time. And learn as you
Right.
go. I'm not saying to make dumb decisions or just jump into anything. You have to have some sort of base, but you don't have to know all the ins and outs, right? As long as you have an understanding, you can pretty much work your way through anything, if you're committed. And commitment is probably another piece of it, just because when you're learning something new or starting a new business, and you're out there doing it, and you're taking that massive imperfect action, um, you're going to take a beating along the way. It's just the nature of the beast. Business is not for everybody. It's not an easy place. So people that tell you that, they're full of it, so to speak, because there's challenges all along the way. There's been many a times where I was wondering how the hell I was going to make payroll. So you have a lot of those. So you need a lot of grit. You need a lot of perseverance. But to get it all started, you need that imperfect action. You have to just go for it and try it, because you are going to make mistakes, and the mistakes is how you learn. That's the only way you learn. So if you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. If you're not learning, you're not growing. So you have to be willing to um, what's the right word to say? Expose yourself, so to speak, right? Um, and be willing to fail, because it's all part of growing. I've definitely failed more times than I've succeeded, and but I will always get up and always keep going. One thing I do not do is, I don't know how to quit. I don't understand that. Um, I'm not saying
Right.
to beat a dead horse. Don't chase a business that's not doing anything for you. But if you have a good idea and you keep hitting a wall, don't quit. Keep pushing until you succeed, because you'll eventually get there.
I think that's really good advice. Yeah. I think some people, it's a fine line because some people learn themselves to death and never take action. And then some people take action without learning anything. So there is that sweet spot of being educated and taking the risk.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, some people get stuck in that analysis paralysis a lot of times, and that's the kind of thing you want to avoid. So, like I said, you got to have some sort of a base to go off of. Uh, can't just know nothing, but you don't need to worry about knowing everything either.
Right. Absolutely. So let's talk about the investors pool. It's a fund that was
Yeah.
it was recently launched, which is really exciting, and it's based on tokenization. Tell us a little bit more about it.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, so tokenization, the fund. So I got involved in a REIT not too long ago, probably about 5, 6 years ago. And that was the first time that I had ever been introduced into fractionalized real estate. 1,000 investors or 100 investors, everybody owns a little piece of it. You put in whatever, 5, 10, $15,000, and you can own a small portion or as big of a portion as you can afford of a whatever it may be, a building, a complex, whatever it is, right? So I was always impressed by that. But the one thing I didn't like is once you put your money in, you were stuck for 5, 6 years in that deal, and it. Oh, I think am I freezing? No, okay. So I'm sorry, my computer was freezing. But uh, I felt trapped. I couldn't. You weren't able to get your money out. You weren't really able to see any returns off anything for um, a while. The one thing about tokenization that really drew me to it was the amount of flexibility that you had, because th- a lot of the parts of a fractionalized REIT are really the same as a tokenized asset, where there's still a bunch of investors, everybody's still pooling their money together, everybody owns a little piece of it. Um, but the one big difference is your ownership is represented by crypto, right? So every asset has a cryptocurrency that gets created specifically for that asset. Whatever percentage of that asset that you own is the number of tokens you receive. So if there's 15,000 shares on that property, um, that represent the whole asset, and we're at $500 per share. That equates to $500 per coin. So you buy in at that 500 or whatever the minimum may be. And then once you purchase those, now that represents your ownership. You can do whatever you want with that. You can take it and trade it on the open market. You can sell it, or you can hang on to it. But you're free to decide what you want to do. So it gives you that freedom that other funds don't have. You're not tied. So if you need to pull your money out, or you're just not happy with the way the fund manager is operating the property, you can go and sell your tokens off and get out of the deal. You're not stuck until the property sells or liquidates, right? So it gives you a lot of freedom and a lot of
Right.
flexibility. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I think that's a very good way to go about it. I mean, all of this, it's not technology, but all of these new innovations are, I mean, it's a really great option. And I think you guys are utilizing it very well. What kind of people are you looking for to be involved in this fund?
So we're what's called a Regulation D and Regulation S fund through the SEC. A Regulation D fund requires accredited investors within the U.S. You can be an accredited investor, you can be an institutional investor. The Regulation S part of it is the part that allows us to accept investors from anywhere in the world. As long as they're a U.S. friendly country, and do trade with us, you can invest in the project. Now, with a Regulation S, they do not have to be accredited. They can be accredited, non-accredited, or institutional from outside the country. And we did this just so we could really open ourselves up to a broader audience, and allow as many people as possible to participate in the fund. So there is some limitation on the U.S. side where you have to be accredited, which accreditation is civil way to put it is about $1 million in assets. Could be property, could be really anything, and then you have to make over $250,000 per year in income. And then if you fit within that bucket, they'll consider you an accredited investor. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I think you've built something so impressive, and now you have this fund that I think a lot of people are going to want to be involved with. Tell people where to find you, where to find the investors pool.
Yeah, so you can visit us online, theinvestorspool.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn as well. If you search the Investors Pool, we'll pop up. But the best way to do it is definitely going to the site at theinvestorspool.com. You can sign up through there. They'll do your compliance through there. Everything gets done through the platform. It's very simple. It's all very, very automated. So it's if you're not tech savvy, it's still fairly easy. So yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here, Michael. I think you gave a lot of inspiration for people.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's always good to, to be able to get the word out and hopefully give somebody some inspiration.
Absolutely. Well, I think you had a lot of great stuff to share. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Hope you learned a lot and got some takeaways there. Please check out the Investors Pool, reach out to Michael. I think there's a really great opportunity there. So we will see you back next time. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.